Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M12, the Tier 7 American SPG. It's located on the west side spawn of Studzianki, and it's under the command of Aslains. But this replay is more about what happens during the game because one of the team members is a troll. Yep, and because of his actions, this game does not end as they hoped it would. Game started. Well, the M12's got a 155mm gun of French design, very effective gun, mounted on top of an M3 chassis that's been elongated. They made 100 of these, and well, some of them saw service as the door knocker during the European theatre. They were called the door knocker because they used to knock down bunkers. And Aslains is aiming towards the centre. Oh, there's a lovely batch of enemy tanks there. He fires a Chiri. Direct hit, 300 hit points. And the Chiri gets wiped out by a Progetto. So, first kill. We've got a Strv S1 in the centre. Now, that Strv is actually going to have a very big effect upon this battle. It's a Tier 9 battle. Or is it that Strv? No, it's not that Strv. It's another Strv who has a big effect on this battle. My mistakes. Up in the forest towards the north, we've got a Batchat 12-ton and a Super Hellcat. I go for the Super Hellcat if I was you because that's slower at reversing. He fires around in, just misses it. Stuns him though. Reload time is 23.9 seconds, which is actually quite reasonable for a 155mm gun, and this gun will do 700 alpha, penetrating 39mm of armor, and it's got a burst radius of 7.6, which again is very good. Lined up on that Batchat 12-ton, but we lose sight of him just as we're about to fire. There's that Hellcat again. Oh, and that was the school bus taking him out. Going for the Batchat. Yes! Right on his rear, but the engine's up front, unfortunately. But it's a nice hit for 283. Reduces him to 72% of his health. Stuns him. Oh, and he takes some more damage, which means that Aslains has picked up 428 hit points of stun assist. Oh, an SP1C hiding in that bush there. He's loaded. He's dialing in. Can he get the shot in the right place? He fires a snap. And he get him! He got him! Yes, he killed the Spick! He was right on the corner of the explosion. He'd taken enough damage so he could take him out. Right in the centre of the power plant, we've got a T-30 and a Conqueror. It's a bit difficult to lob a shell over the buildings into them, but he's got a red line, but he might be able to get a shot at them through the railway station. He's lining a shot up. 430 comes into view, he fires around it. Oh yes, 144 from Splash. But that T-30 just took a double hit. That's really bad news there. And they've been stunned as well by the enemy Arty. Okay, over the other side of the battlefield we've got a Progetto. Lining him up. Can we get a shot in before he disappears? Okay, well, he centered the arc on the enemy cap area. Unfortunately, both tanks in the center of the power plant have been wiped out by that Object 430. Just killed the Conqueror. We fire around. Oh, that one, the round hit the building, but it didn't actually damage the Object 430 at all. Down in the south, we've got a T-10. Lining up a shot. Can't see him. Somebody needs to find out where he is. Now, I mentioned earlier in the game that there was a troll in this game. And, well, he's in the Tiger tank. Goes by the name of gajec123. And I think if you can see him right now, he's in grid square K3. And he's not really taking part in the battle whatsoever. All he's doing is pinging. Pinging quite a lot. And that shell went long. He was aiming for the house just ahead. It hit the one behind, so that was bad RNG. He's marked the spot where he thinks the T10 is. Yes, the Tiger's just not taking part in the battle at all. And, well, he's going to have a confrontation with the Strv S1 on our team, who's getting a bit upset that the Tiger's not doing anything. Okay, we've just spotted an E25, and there's the Progetto we saw earlier. Rounds out, that's going to be a bit late. Yeah, it wasn't enough lead, but our platoon mate, the T28 HTC, put a round into him. We're also in platoon with Sage Owls and the Super Hellcat. Oh, and the E25's found our T28. And this is going to get rather awkward because T28s don't traverse very well, but the E25 does. And the E25's got behind him. And I'm afraid T28 just lost a huge amount of hit points to the T10, but the T25 just lost some to the shot that came from Alephus, and oh, both of them go down. So we lose our T28 platoon mate, but the enemy loses their E25. And here comes that Progetto. And he's headed towards the Tiger, who's been sitting behind that barn all day doing absolutely nothing in this game. Don't you just hate it when there's somebody camping at the back and they have a reasonably good tank that could take part, could do something, and they just sit there doing nothing? Admittedly, he is bottom tier. It's tier 9 game and he's tier 7, but he could still fight and earn some XP, and all he's doing by sitting there is costing us a game. Progetto 46, he fires the round in. Oh, falls short. Bad RNG again. But the school bus gets a good hit on the Progetto, leaves him on just 2 hit points. He's a splash kill now. But we've lost sight of the enemy because our EBR died. Now, Leffers keeps looking over here, and I suspect that he thinks that the enemy Strv 1030, which is the one I actually should have mentioned right at the start, he's somewhere over in these bushes, I think. He was seen up near grid square F8 earlier in the game, but I think he's moved south because he's not there now. They found and killed the enemy Arty. I think he's somewhere in that wood. Alephus has fired a round in just to see if he can provoke him. I'm sure he must be in that wood somewhere. Our guys are nearby. They should be able to spot him if he breaks cover. Our platoon mate in the Super Hellcat's moving south, so he might see him any moment. If he's there. There he is! Yes, he is there. Dialing in. Getting ready. Mark the target. Lined up. Rounds out. Oh, and he moves! And he moves quickly enough to get outside the blast radius. And we lost our platoon mate. But the enemy is now down to just 3 players. A T10, Strv 1030 and a Progetto 46 with only 2 hit points. And we know that they were last seen. That's where the T10 is, yes, and he's full health. And he's headed towards that Tiger, and the Strv's got so upset, he's moved south to try and remonstrate with the Tiger 1 and get him involved in the fight. And unfortunately, it has the wrong effect on the Tiger, who now starts trolling the Strv 1. And you can see the Tiger 1's only a short distance away. And he's going to start firing at those pair any second. The rest of our teammates are trying to close in on that position. There's the Progetto. Okay, he's a splash kill, so if we can get around near him. RNG again, shell falls short. Massively short as well. That was nowhere near. It was aimed at him, but it just didn't go towards him at all. SU-14-2 tries a shot and he fails. And now the T10 is taking holes out of, digging holes into that Tiger 1. Okay, the Alephis tries again, and this time round he gets it. So there's only 2 enemies remaining now, the Strv 1030 and this T10. And the T10 could actually be at this moment being surrounded, but instead the Tiger is pinning the Strv against the side of the map. And that's the action of a troll. He's costing them the battle. Because if they could get rid of this T10, then it's only a matter of getting that Strv 1030 who's suddenly appeared. Okay, the school bus hits the T10. He's facing off against the E50. Alephis gets a hit for 312. And it's chasey, chasey, kissy, kissy, bangy, bangy between the E50 and the T10. But you're watching the Tiger 1 pin the Strv S1 against the side of the map. He's totally trolling that guy. And this is uncalled for, unwarranted, and is costing the game. And meanwhile, the T10 is firing at the T10, at the Tiger 1. Well, a near miss now leaves the T10 on only 81 hit points, but he's pointing his gun in the direction of the E50, who can't go around the corner because he'd get hit. And a high roll would put him out the game. Here comes the Waffenträger. Can he do something on that T10? Alephis' shell doesn't, and the Waffenträger's shell doesn't do any damage either. And yet still that Tiger is still trolling the Strv. The T10 is killed, but so is the Waffenträger, killed by the Strv. So now it's 5 against 1. There's only 1 enemy tank out there, the Strv 1030, and 2 of our players are still, well, one of them's trolling the other. The E50, well, I don't think he's interested in getting involved in what's going on. He's headed towards the east. I think the Su-14-2 and Alephis ought to go down and try and sort this out. They've been talking to them through chat, but the Tiger 1's ignoring them. E50's going to look for the Strv 1030. Both Artys need to get a move on now because there's very limited time left. If they're going to cap, they need to cap soon, and we certainly can't expect the Tiger 1 and the Strv to cap because, well, that Tiger is determined to keep the Strv pinned in place. So both Artys effectively need to head east. They think that the Strv 1030 is actually going around the north and coming down the other side. But the Strv cannot cap. He really cannot cap, because if he was to cap, he would get attacked from multiple directions at once. And there's the 2-minute warning. What both Artys should be doing is heading over towards the enemy cap right now, in company with the E50. I think what Alephis is trying to do, and maybe the Su-14 too, is to try and break this pair up and allow the Strv to re-enter the battle, even if the Tiger 1's not going to. Well, he tried to push the Strv S1 out from in front of the Tiger. He's not having much luck because the M12 isn't exactly a very powerful vehicle. It's got a very heavy gun on it, and it is only basically an M3. Well, he pushes the Strv out, but what does the Strv do? He carries on trolling the Tiger. Or the Tiger's trolling him, and now the school bus is getting involved. This is ridiculous. Now the Tiger 1 is firing on the Strv, and Alephis has suddenly realised that was the 1-minute hooter. And that Strv is not really involved at all. So both the Tiger 1 and the Strv S1 have effectively trolled the team because they didn't take part in any cap to win the game. They're still milling around down there. Even the school bus has now got involved. The E50's decided he's not going to move from where he is, and that might be because his sixth sense went off. But it's too late now to cap. Not enough time left. 10 seconds to go, and this is going to be a draw. I'd have to say, if anything, it was the Tiger's fault, because he's the one who was trolling the S1, but, well, those two cost this team a win, so it ends up a draw. So here's the end of battle result. It's a third-class tanker for Alephas. He didn't do anything wrong in this game. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He got 10, and he did get a fair amount of damage. If we look at the team scores, we can see that although he didn't get the highest damage in the game, that went to the Strv 1030 on the enemy team with 3585. He picked up a high caliber and a tanker sniper. It was down in the end to that Tiger 1. This guy, gajec123, did no damage to the enemy at all. No kills, 223 XP for turning up. The Strv at least did get some damage on the enemy. He did 1051 hit points of damage, no kills, and 293 XP. But the two performers who did the most, I think, out of this game, really, to be honest, even though the E50 did 2,708 hit points and 4 kills, it was the school bus with 2,500 damage and Alephas with 1,702. And you can see that that game was totally wasted because these players were involved. The Tiger 1 and the Strv decided to troll each other. Admittedly, the Strv S1 taunted the Tiger 1 in chat, but so did most of the other players. They couldn't work out why he was sitting there behind the barn all the time and just wouldn't take part in the game at all. So that's the troll. And this is the one that actually helped the troll to carry on. But as Alephas says, he's anti-sportive behaviour by the Tiger 1. It is really the Tiger 1 that did the unsporting behaviour, and therefore he should take the blame for that battle being a loss. So we can see at the end of battle results that Alephas managed to make 16k profit off a free-to-play account and in 900 XP, but it could have been a win and ended up being a draw. So, yes, I think this player is going to have to be added to our troll list, and if you see him in battle, he's obviously a troll. Stay away from him. Don't aid him. Don't assist him. If his vehicle turns over, just leave him there to die, because he's no help to anyone. And if he starts trolling you, then ask for help for other people to free you from whatever he's doing. But this person is a troll and really deserves to get a ban from Wargaming for his trolling behaviour, because this battle could so easily have been a win. Thank you for watching.